thought I'd make a quick, this is completely optional video for downloading and using Python on your computer. So in this camp, we're going to be using replit.com for everything. And so Replit is great, but one thing you might notice with Replit is it can be slow, especially for like bigger programs. So this is the day 5 program, for example. And when you hit run, the first time you run something, it's really slow. After that, it does get tremendously faster, which is a tribute to how they wrote things. But even then, let me put focus in here. Even then, it's just a little choppy. It's not terrible on my computer, but on your computer, it might be worse. And so if you want it to run smoother, or you're just curious how to do it at all, this video is going to show you how you could run things locally on your own computer instead of on Replit. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download Python. If you just type in a search for Python download, it should take you to a page that looks like this. It looks like it's just python.org/downloads. And you'll download using this yellow button, whatever platform you're on. So obviously I'm on a Mac, so like my version of Python is probably specific to Mac. And so it downloaded it. And then whatever system you're on, you'll run the thing that you downloaded. It'll probably ask you a series of questions. Your questions might be different from mine, but it'll somehow look like this. And then, on your computer, you have to make sure you're an administrator, and you can put in administrator passwords and things like that. And so my Python is installing, and it looks like my Python finished installing, and it popped up a little window. Now, with just Python installed, you actually can use it. It comes with a little IDE called idle, and you can use this IDE to actually run Python code. It's not really the best way to do it though, but it does work with just Python. And also, if you happen to be a big computer nerd, you can actually just make files and you can run them from the command line by typing Python and then a space and then whatever the file name is. To be perfectly honest, if you don't want to use idle, that's fine. What I prefer to do, and there's something on mine called Python Launcher, not even quite sure what that is. I don't think it's a very good choice for Python, and what I recommend is you get some other tool, and I'm going to recommend one for you here in a second, that lets you like write your Python code and then have like a run button. The tool that I think is best and easiest for people to use is PyCharm. So PyCharm. So I type a search for PyCharm download. If you go to PyCharm download, you'll probably get to a page that looks like this. It just looks like it's JetBrains. That's the parent company that makes PyCharm. /PyCharm/download. And then mine took me to the section for the Mac because it figured out that I'm on a Mac, right? You'll probably want to be in the section for Windows. There's 2 versions. There's the professional version and the community version. The community version is just fine for what we're doing. So you just download that link. It'll take however long it needs to download. You can make an account on JetBrains if you want. You can submit to their email list. But to be honest, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to wait for my download to finish. It looks like it's almost done. My guess is that my internet speeds are probably better than yours, so yours might take longer. From there, you have to install it. This will be whatever is necessary for your platform. For me, I have to like drag it into the applications folder here. Once it's finished installing, what you'll do is you'll have to open it up. So it looks like it's called PyCharm CE. And so it looks like it was some huge file, 1.5 gigabytes. So your download may have taken a while. When you double click on it to run it for the very first time, it's open on my other window here. Let me bring it up. It will look a little different from mine because mine has been open before. So let me close this, and yours will probably look more like this, except for this area will be completely empty because you have no projects. In fact, they'll probably make these 3 buttons be big. You can also choose different themes with PyCharm. You can choose a light theme or a dark theme. The default is the dark theme, so yours probably looks all black, right? I've switched mine to the light theme just because I like that better. What you need to do to set up your PyCharm is you need to go into the Customize area. You can see this is where I picked the light theme instead of the dark theme. And you're going to need to go into All Settings. So Customize, All Settings. So don't hit any of those three buttons yet. Just on the side here, pick Customize and then All Settings. And the thing that you have to do is you have to set up your Python interpreter. So I'll just pause for a minute just to kind of like say what's happening here. Python is a program that you can use to run Python programs. It's called an interpreter. It's what runs the code. PyCharm is a place where you can type code and then run the Python interpreter on that code. And so you have to tell PyCharm about Python. And so in the Python interpreters, there's probably none for you. It probably looks a little different from you. And you can see that I've already got an interpreter. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on where it says Python interpreter. Yours probably says no interpreter, right? And it'll probably not have any options for you to just pick. So you'll click on like show all, and then you'll click on this add button. And so you're going to add a Python interpreter. So this is the screen that probably looks like what you're doing. What we did is we downloaded PyCharm to your system. And so what we need is a system interpreter. And in your system interpreters, it probably won't show anything. But if you let it automatically try to find your Python interpreter, it should find it. Yours is going to be at a different location than mine, so there's no reason to look at my paths. But if you click on the add button, it should just pop up to where it finds your system interpreter. It's funny, if it found your system interpreter after you clicking like all these buttons, why didn't it do it before? I'm just going to do that again really quick. I'm going to cancel my way back out. So from this screen, I went to Customize. I went to All Settings. From All Settings, I clicked on Python Interpreter. Should be one of the options over on the side. Your Python interpreter probably says no interpreter. From there, you'll have to click on Add or Show All, depending on your next step on you. And then mine obviously has many options here because I've got Python on here. But you can click Add, and then you can go looking for a system interpreter. Lots of steps, I know. And by the way, the one that I just installed, what version of Python did I just install? 3.10.05. I suppose I should probably be able to find 3.10.05 on my computer. Honestly, I just don't care though, because mine works, right? It's probably in, I paused and went for it. Mine is in user local bin Python 3. That's just how Mac works, right? And so you'll add that one. Looks like it had already been added, and then you'll just say OK to use it. The other thing that you want to do after this step is you've installed the Python interpreter. We're going to be using in days 3, 4, and 5 a package called Replit Play. So from this screen, Python interpreter, you've selected your interpreter up here. These are all the packages that you can use. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to install a package. So there'll be a plus arrow here where you're going to install another package. Yours might be over on the right on Windows. And the package that you want to install is called Replit-Play. So you can see that mine is right there. I usually do check this box for install to site package directory, and then I say install package. And so it's going to download from the internet Replit-Play. And this is a library that's made by the Replit company called Play that lets us do a couple things easier in days 3 through 5. Once you've done these things, you can click on Apply, you can hit OK, and you're ready to make a new project. From here, just click on New Project. Yours has probably got 3 big buttons here, but I'm going to have to click on it up top. You can save it wherever you want. I would probably call it like CWC2020 or something like that. It's got some questions in here about which interpreter you want to use. I kind of don't like these questions, but that's okay. I'm going to say use a previously configured interpreter because mine defaulted to a virtual environment. I don't want you to know about those details. There's it'll create a main.py welcome script for you. May as well check that, that's fine. So here's that main.py file. I don't know why they do this, but they make this main.py file like really confusing and complicated. Honestly, the only line in here that I would like to keep is none of it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just delete it all and say hello world. And what I want to teach you how to do is how to run programs in PyCharm. And what you need to do is you need to right click wherever the code, like wherever you would type the code, and then click run and then that file. And so you can see that it actually did run it. It ran it using the command Python. So this is my path and my name of my Python. And then it named the file, which is main.py and hello world. What you should do for the camp is you should probably make a new folder, which they call a directory, for each day. So you'd make like a day 1, and then you'd make a day 2. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's put a file inside here called main. And so notice what I did there is I right clicked and said new Python file, and I typed the word main. All right, I don't need to do that again. And so once you've got a day 1, you can probably make a copy of that and make a day 2, and then copy of that, make a day 3, day 4, and day 5. And so you can see my structure is that I have a day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the 5 days of this camp, and then inside of there, and then I've also got this main.py here, which we just said hello world. So each folder has a main file in it for that day. And so each day, so this is day 1, so this is going to be my day 1 code. And then to run it, I just right click where I would normally type the code, and then I say run, and you can see it's there. Just to run something that's more fun, I could go to Replit and cheat and grab, I don't know, one of my more complex REPLs, right? I'll tell you what, this is a day 1 folder. Maybe I'll go grab a day 1 thing. This is the solution to the day 1 code, guess my number. So I just want to have something more fun to run. And so I just cheated and just copied in that code, and then I ran it. And all it is it's just a little guess my number program. So I'll guess 50 and then 75. And you get the idea at this point, but I can't not finish because that would be crazy. So I'm going to have to finish by saying 63 should be the end. Cool. You got it in 7 guesses. And so it's kind of the idea of running things locally on your computer. It's faster when you run it. But as you saw the setup, like to get Python installed, that wasn't too bad. To get PyCharm installed, that wasn't too bad. But then to like set up the Python interpreter in the right way, there's things that can go wrong. To set up the Replit Play package in with all this, to make a new project with the interpreter selected, there's just a lot that can go wrong, which is why we chose to use Replit, right? Because with Replit, there's no installation at all. You just kind of go. All right, not going to finish that one. All right, thanks for watching this video. If it's useful to you, you can use the downloaded version of Python only if Replit becomes a problem for you. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.